me, Julie, your pampered chef, consultant, and traveling trivet. We're here for another We're here for another Throwback Thursday recipe, or what we might be calling this is, let's see if Julie can figure out how to use her live feed camera this week. So, let's see if I can. Well, this is a little better. Not like a tiny little thing and a huge background of wow. Anyway, so for this week, let's see, last 2 weeks I showed my mom's cookbooks. And my friend Vicky, that I grew up with in Azusa, we hung out as little kids and we've been best friends ever since, and it was a long time ago. So I guess we're both vintage, so anything we did was vintage. She sent me this really awesome vintage book to read out of. And I got to show you. Look at this cover. Isn't that awesome? That's what it says is Cooking with Casseroles. This is a book by Sunset Books. And the year is 1958. I wrote that down because it's really, really tiny. So it was... this is a 1959 printing of a 1958 book. I mean, doesn't that just scream mid-century modern? Oh my God. Anyway, so this is the first book. She sent me about 6 of them, but this is the first book I looked at because this could be framed. And check out this. I mean, the illustrations are even to die for. The book doesn't really have a lot of, like some of those other books I read, tips and stuff. But at the very beginning, and keep in mind, this is 1958, about casseroles. And when you read down to casseroles, it's talking about casseroles a little bit. And I got to read this little paragraph. Cracked me up. In this book, we have marked certain casseroles as quickies. Cooks do not always agree on just what constitutes a quickie. Yeah. But we have selected as quickies these recipes that can be prepared and cooked in an hour or less. If you prepare your casserole ahead of time, many of the other recipes could be... I'm having trouble hearing you. Yeah, Siri. See, if you prepare your casseroles ahead of time, many of the other recipes could be called quickies as far as actual cooking time is concerned. And then it's all recipes. And I'll read in a minute, the very first recipe that I found, it just popped out of me. I opened the book and there it was. And it's in the meat section. And check out this graphic for the meats. I don't know if you can see that. That's pretty awesome. I mean, this book definitely needs to be framed. Okay, so we just talked about quickies. And now, for our recipe for the evening is Wiener Mix-Up. It's not marked as a quickie. Okay? And you know, when I do these, I always read through the recipes. I look for something that's not going to take too long to read. And, yuck. Tell me what you think. Okay. Wiener Mix-Up. Not a quickie. 1 pound frankfurters, thinly sliced. 1 can, that's 4.5 ounces, of chopped ripe olives. 1 can, number 303, whole kernel corn. 1 can, number 303, cut string beans. 1 cup of cheddar cheese, that's a 1/4 pound. 2 cups of tomato ketchup. 1 tablespoon of sugar. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1/8 teaspoon of garlic salt, and 1 small onion finely chopped. Okay, and here's how you make your Wiener Mix-Up. Mixed sliced frankfurters with olives, drained whole kernel corn, and green beans, cheese, ketchup, sugar, salt, garlic salt, and chopped onion. Turn into a lightly greased casserole, cover and bake in a moderate oven at 350 degrees for an hour. Serve 6 to 8. You might substitute a large can, number 2.5, golden hominy for the corn and the beans. I might substitute all of that for something completely different. However, I guess Wiener dishes were very popular in the mid-century modern when this was doing this. It was very, very popular. And as I looked through this book, ever who owned this first, I don't think Vicki did this. This doesn't look like her writing. By many of the recipes, she wrote crock pot. So, and I was looking at this one. This could definitely be a crock pot one. You can throw this in the crock pot in the morning and stick it on medium, go for work and come back, and you have a Wiener Mix-Up when you get home. And if I were going to make my wieners, mix them up in a crock pot, or even in the oven, in a casserole, I have the perfect Pampered Chef item. This is my rock crock. This is my rock crock Dutch oven. It would be perfect for this. It's nice. You can put it right in the oven. If it had, you can brown in it. This recipe didn't have anything brown. You can put this right in the oven and then put it on the slow cooker base to keep warm, or you can just put it in the slow cooker in the morning. If I were to do a Wiener Mix-Up, I would definitely use my rock crock. And it's not a quickie. So what do y'all think? Is this recipe the good? Oh boy, let's try that. Let's see how it tastes. Or the bad? No thank you. Or the ugly? Oh my God, 1958 called and they want their recipe back. Ugh. I'm telling you, that's the ugly for me. But how many people think that's not ugly? Anyway, y'all have an afternoon. I'll post this recipe next week before I do another recipe of Throwback Thursday Vintage Recipes. Y'all have a wonderful evening.